Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the WTCR series on GT Sport. This is race 3 of our special event at round 4 at Nürburgring 24 hours. As you can see, it's a night race, but just to run through the tyres for you, Nick Hash is on the mediums and so is Task 1. Everyone else is on either the super soft or the soft tyre. So just to run through that for you. And then as we press go and get ready for a start, you can see how dark it is. It's quite dark, and even this is in the stadium section. As we get ready, lights are going on the board. You can see the lights coming on. Get ready for a start, and we're off. Very quick change there, and I think it caught a couple of people out near the back as we go racing. Seat 1 in the lead between Neil Farmack and Nick Hash then for the lead into the first corner. With Nick Hash on medium tyres, into the first corner we go. Seat 1, Neil Farmack side by side. Everyone else going through the chicane. Everyone doing very well there to get through without much contact. Jamo there in 5th place. He's got quite a bit of weight on, so has Bidzster as well. He's back in 7th place. As we go, Neil Farmack being passed by Nick Hash there, and then Task 1 just behind. Obviously got to rely on the names on this one because you can't really see the cars until the last minute, or you can see his headlights. As we go down towards Dunlop Hairpin. So it's Seat 1 in the lead from Nick Hash, Neil Farmack and Task 1. As we look further back down the field, there's Growly Bear and Callum at the back. And they're all through with that Dunlop Hairpin. Neil Farmack on the inside of Nick Hash. And into 2nd place. As Nick Hash and Task 1 try to go side by side through the Schumacher S. Woohoo, brave stuff. And then we go down towards the next few corners. Remember, the 24-hour circuit consists of the GP circuit and then the Nordschleife, so both circuits in one. Task 1 goes to the outside to try and get a better run. Jamo right behind him now. But remember, Jamo's got weight on that Lexus. That'll not be easy to live with, as it will for Bidzster as well. Bidzster will be finding it hard as well in the front-wheel drive. He's behind Rodders in the other Lexus. As you come up to the chicane, remember, this is the fastest chicane. As Neil Farmack challenging for the lead round the outside of Seat 1. Gets it into the fast chicane. There's contact between Seat 1 and Nick Hash there, but Nick Hash goes through. Everyone else through cleanly. Lillian Jr. back there as well, side by side with Bidzster. Trying to go around the outside of Bidzster. Bang! Have that. But Bidzster resists into the next few corners. Sorry, there's a lot of camera changes, ladies and gentlemen, just trying to keep up with the action. As we go down the hill, there's Bidzster. He's in 7th place with the weight on. And we've got Callum at the back as well. He's got no weight on after disconnecting in the last one. So he's got no weight on at the back, so watch out for Callum siding his way through the field as we got the car off ahead. That's Jamo spun. Jamo spun. Don't know if there was contact with anyone, but he's spun and he's gone back down to 10th place. Everyone else moves up. Bidzster and Rodders now side by side into the next few corners. Bidzster trying to go around the outside of Rodders, and he does it! Right around the outside of Rodders, even with the weight on, he's not phased. Lillian Jr. tries to take advantage as well, so does Callum. Callum's coming through now, no weight on that Atenza. Straight through. Now he's trying to pass Rodders, who almost hits himself into the wall. Side by side into the flood pass. Callum round the outside of Rodders. Brave stuff. You don't see that done very often, as we've got a car off in the background. Jamo's off again, unlucky for Jamo. And Lillian Jr. bouncing off the walls as well. We've got Rodders doing a bit of lawn mowing. Everything happening here at Nürburgring. As we look at the back of the leaders then, Neil Farmack into the right-hander, into the lead, in the lead shall I say. Seat 1 in 2nd, Nick Hash 3rd. Then it's got Task 1. Bidzster's up to 5th place, so he's not hanging about even with maximum weight on. So Bidzster not hanging around, and Callum's following him, the two championship rivals following each other down the hill. Rodders from Lillian and Stacker back here as well. Good little scrap. Growly Bear in 10th, then Jamo in 11th. He's had an awful first quarter of the lap. Yes, that is only a quarter of the lap. Okay, here's a replay on board with Rodders to see what happened to Jamo. So watch, he goes on the grass there, just touches the grass before braking, slides, then slides the other way, just about keeping hold of it, and then round it goes. And unfortunately Jamo back down a few positions in the lap, but still got quite a way to go. So Neil Farmack then out of the chicane in 1st, Seat 1. Then we've got Task 1 being caught by Nick Hash and Bidzster as well. Bidzster's on Nick Hash now. There he is, Nick Hash. Bidzster closes up in the orange and black Scirocco, which is more black than orange this time due to the special event liveries. As he tries to go for the inside, just has a little look, no way through there, and then he goes for the inside, no way through there. Nürburgring, a notoriously hard track to pass on. because it's so narrow, but it is so challenging as well. As Nick Hash goes a bit wide, Callum tries to go around Bidzster there, but no, Bidzster shuts the door. No way through. Nick Hash trying to hold off Bidzster here. Also, he's got his teammate behind him as well. As Bidzster goes for a gap on the inside into the hairpin. Nick Hash says, no, you don't. Not yet. Nick Hash goes wide, Bidzster up the inside again, but can't get the traction out the corner. Amazing stuff. And Stacker and Rodders battling. Oh, Rodders hits the back of Stacker there. Rodders goes on the grass. Growly Bear and Firepower as well back there as well. Jamo's gone right back down to the back of the pack, so I'm looking for Jamo there. Firepower and Growly close together as well. Sorry guys, went a bit too far there. Let's look at Bidzster and Nick Hash again, trying to battle it out down towards the right banked hairpin onto the what would be the Nürburgring back straight, but it's not really a straight, and it's a very big incline. It's a big hill. It doesn't feel like it, but it is. As Callum tries to go up the inside of Bidzster there after getting a bad run. Callum and Bidzster side by side, and Callum's got him, I think. Yep, Callum's got him. Bidzster's not got the acceleration in that Scirocco due to the weight. So Callum gets ahead, and he'll not want that. So all of them following each other up towards the back, well, not really straight, but the back section up towards the carousel. Meanwhile, Task 1 catching Seat 1 as well. So they're all going to concertina up here as Callum and Nick Hash run close together, the two teammates. Nick Hash with the yellow lights, Callum with the white lights. Just help tell them apart. And Bidzster goes for the inside of Callum there, but no way through into the hairpin. Task 1 catching Seek, Nick Hash being caught by Callum as well. You see some people flashing the lights, it's because they're on the controller and they accidentally catch the light flash button when they turn. So don't worry about that. Into the carousel then, the famous Nürburgring carousel. Into it, into the banking. And out of it. Bidzster gets a good run out of there, but so does everyone else. You go towards the last third of the lap then. The complex section. It's a very tight section as Nick Hash defends from his teammate. Bidzster looks up the inside of Callum as well, no way through. Callum and Nick Hash side by side. Callum right round the outside of Nick Hash here. Is he going to do it? Right round the outside of his teammate. Woohoo, showing him his place. Right round the outside. And Nick Hash now defending from Bidzster. Bidzster goes right round Nick Hash. So Nick Hash obviously slowing up a bit. Made a mistake there. And I remember Nick Hash on the medium tyres as well. So Nick Hash will probably come back towards the end of the race on those medium tyres. As Callum now approaches Task 1. Bidzster flashed his light saying, I'm coming for you, sunshine. There's now, we've got Seek 1, Task 1, Callum and Bidzster all in a line now. It's a line of 4 through this section, which is popular with the tourists, for the Touristwagen track days. As Callum goes right round the outside of Task 1 there. Tries to after Task 1 makes a mistake. But Task not making it easy here in the Subaru. Bidzster closes right up as well. Flashed his lights, hello. As we go down over the little dip, through the dip into the corner, into the compression. Callum goes up the inside of Task 1, brave stuff. And now Bidzster's going to try and follow him. Bidzster's going to try and follow him right around the outside of Task. Oh, brave stuff there. Brilliant pass by both of them. So Bidzster obviously not wasting any time, and Callum not wasting any time either, right behind Seat 1. So Callum right behind Seat 1 now, into the last few sections before the straight. Callum up the inside of Seat 1 after making a mistake. Bidzster's going to try and follow him through. So Bidzster follows him through. Seat 1, one mistake and he's down 2 places. Amazing. And Bidzster really pushing in this one with maximum weight on. Callum with no weight on and he's still staying with him. So good job here. But will it be a matter of time? Because Callum will surely pull away with the less weight on. So there's Neil. He's already on the straight. Neil there on the straight in the TT. And then Callum and Bidzster onto the straight now in each other's draft. As Bidzster flashes his light saying, wait for me, I'm coming. And we've got Seat 1 and Task 1 close together as well. Then we've got Nick Hash in the background, and then further back here we've got Lillian Jr. from Stacker. Rodders has gone back down to 9th place. Firepower in 10th. Growly Bear's being muscled back to 11th place, and Jamo on the second most weight in the Lexus. So obviously Jamo not doing very well with the weight on this car this season. Just not driving the car hard enough probably, or something. As Neil Farmack comes out of the chicane then onto the straight as Bidzster and Callum close right up to each other on the exit. Bidzster almost pushing Callum out that corner saying, come on, get on with it. as we go across the start finish line. That's only lap 1, we've got 2 to go. So it's going to be a bit more of an extended race, this one, because usually it's a 20-minute length that we usually try and go to. This one will probably be about half an hour. As we go into the hairpin, Callum defends from Bidzster into the 2 hairpins. Bidzster tries to get the cut back. Will he get the cut back? He's alongside. He's going to give it a go, but that Mazda will pull away under acceleration. Yes, it does. So Callum stays in front. Bidzster has to stay behind into these next few corners. So Bidzster not phased even with the weight on that car. But both Callum and Bidzster both love this Nürburgring circuit, so both will be pushing like hell. And I would imagine they'll not be far off catching Neil up if they can keep this pace up, as Seat 1 and Task 1 come out the corners down towards the Dunlop hairpin. And back here we've got Stacker in 7th, Liliam in 8th. So running a bit wide there onto the gravel. Onto the gravel goes Liliam Jr. Rodders is going to go straight through here probably, because he'll have the overrun. Down to the hairpin, we'll just watch this. Has he got enough for an overrun? Tries to go up the inside, just locks up a brake a bit there. So Rodder's not able to get through on Liliam Jr. there. And Firepower closes up as well in the Subaru. As we look back at Bidzster and Callum then, both pushing each other down the GP back section into the chicane. Remember, this is the faster version of the chicane, which Neil's going to go through now. There goes Neil through it. And then Callum and Bidzster, they both go through the chicane as well, both hopping the curbs. Both good lines through there from both. And then on to the Nordschleife. 12 miles back to the start finish. Down the turn 1 of the Nordschleife, and then down to this section here. And we look at Task 1 and Seat 1, still with more or less the same gap between them. Nick Hash slightly catching up to them now, so Nick Hash on the move a little bit more now. Stacker a solid 7th place at the minute. Well done to him in the Messerschmitt Audi, who's on home territory. And then we've got Rodders, and Liliam Jr. going wide there into the wall, so Rodders is ahead of Liliam Jr. now. Liliam Jr., he's all over the place in that Peugeot. Remember, he's one of the new guys, and we've sort of thrown him in the deep end with a very dark Nürburgring Nordschleife. So, Liliam Jr. goes through. Firepower is not too far behind him either. So Firepower into this section. Ooh, very slidey there in the Subaru, but well held through that section. As we've got yellow flags ahead, has someone gone off? We had yellow flags there. I'm just going to look through. I think, yes, Rodders, I think, has been off the road. I think there was yellow flags waving, so that's all I can think of, unless it was Stacker falling back. But oh no, Seat 1's back to 6th place now. So it was Seat 1 that made a mistake. We'll get a replay on that. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Seat 1 then. So coming into the section before the floodplats, goes over the curb, then gets the power on, tank slapper, and then goes the other way, bang, into the wall, just over the curb, and then put too much power on as he was sideways, and then spins it round and rejoins the race. So as you come back from that replay of Seat 1 then, Stacker closes up to him now, and meanwhile Bidzster and Callum, still with a decent gap between them, both still motoring on. Their next target, Neil, who's only just down there. You can actually see Callum behind us. There he is. So they've closed up on Neil a bit. So we'll see how that develops later on in the race. As you look at Nick Hash, he's catching up to Task 1 now. And Seat 1 back in 6th place after that mistake. So Stacker in 7th. Rodders 8th. Liliam Jr. off into the gravel. Right off into the gravel, and Firepower says thank you very much, I will take that any day of the week, and go straight through in the Subaru past the Peugeot. And Growly Bear back in 11th. He's not really enjoying this one as much as he thought, probably. So back in 11th. It's a decent car for Nürburgring, the Evo, just not on the back straight, but Growly just clearly struggling in with pace a little bit, and so's Jamo at the back. He just can't seem to drive the car with weight on. It must be a bit hard. But he's still soldiering on, and he's still fourth in the championship coming into this event. So he's doing well this season. So the Lexus, a very, very fast car with no weight on, and then with the weight on, obviously it's not handling as well. But still, every car has its downfall. Like we've got the front-wheel drive cars that are really slow off the start, and then we've got the four-wheel drive cars which absolutely burn up their tyres over the course of the race for some reason, just with understeer. So every car has its flaw, but all the cars in the championship are quite close together. So they've all got a very they've all got very fair advantages and disadvantages. As we go towards the hairpin, Callum now right on the back of Neil. Just a matter of time because Neil is carrying a bit of ballast from the last race. As Callum goes alongside and straight through almost as he's just about done it. Neil's not giving up now, he's keeping on the inside. Callum's going to try and keep around the outside, side by side through here. Still side by side through this. Side by side almost hitting the grass. Both drivers putting ultimate trust in each other, but that TT's so fast on the straight. But Callum with no weight on gets ahead. So Bidzster saying wait for me in the background as Callum goes through on Neil and into the lead of this race then. So it's Mazda Atenza from Audi from VW. That's the order in towards the hairpin before the carousel. As Neil runs a bit wide there but gets away with it. As Callum accelerates through up to the carousel now. Bidzster saying wait for me, and then Task One back there in 4th place. So into the carousel then goes Callum, followed by Neil, and then Bidzster. So all through the carousel nice and neatly there. There's Bidzster trying to catch up to Neil now, and Task One in 4th place. Nick Hash 5th, just trying to find if any battles on track. Seat 1 in 6th place. Stacker 7th, a bit more spread out now between everyone. Everyone getting in their own rhythm as Rodders mowing the lawn there a little bit as Liliam Jr. is back ahead of Firepower. So we didn't see how that changed, and Growly Bear's in 10th as well. So Growly Bear on the move, so we'll get a replay on some of that action as well. Okay, here's a replay of some of the action that happened between Firepower and Liliam Jr. on lap 2. So going up and over here, Firepower makes a mistake onto the grass, Liliam follows him, and then bang, Liliam Jr. hits him again. Firepower's off on the grass, but luckily Subarus are quite good on the grass. But then Liliam Jr. runs wide himself, and Firepower goes straight back through. So as we just fast forward now to the next section, see Firepower there with Liliam Jr. right behind him, and then we go down here. Liliam Jr. goes for a little bit of an ambitious dive on the inside, but luckily Firepower sees it coming and gives him space. And then they're very close down towards the next corner as we just fast forward again. So then down towards this section, Firepower gets a bit slidey there. Liliam Jr. is on the grass, passes him around the outside, but then cuts all the way across the curb and the white line there, and then keeps ahead. So that was very naughty there from Liliam Jr., and that will be under review action as well. And just as I say replay, we've come back from that and Growly Bear goes into the wall. So Growly Bear out breaks himself into the wall and Firepower will close up a little bit. So Firepower closes up a little bit there as Liliam Jr. completely misses the carousel bit and goes right around the outside of it. And these two doing it properly. Into the carousel, use the speed and eject yourself out of it. So they've got Callum there, and then Neil Farmack. Bidzster slowly catching Neil Farmack, but not by a rapid rate, obviously, because of the weight on board. As we see a bit of dust there from Neil Farmack's car. So Neil clearly pushing, using all the track to his advantage, down through the dip. So does Bidzster, through the dip, and out the other side. Here he goes, over the top. Keep it flat. There goes Neil Farmack, he's coming through this section now. Let's watch Neil through here. Lovely bit of driving there from Neil. Flat out, keep all the speed you can up towards the straight. Meanwhile, Callum's already coming up to this section here, through there, and then here goes Neil with Bidzster following in suit. Neil goes through there, so does Bidzster, both doing good lines there. Into the mini carousel, let it hook you up on the inside, throw it out, and then on to the back straight. Bidzster flashing his lights saying, I'm coming for you, old chum. Oh, Bidzster goes over the curb there, that's going to lose him some speed, but just about holds on to it. As we look back from Neil, there's Bidzster, so I don't know whether he's going to be close enough to be in the tow yet, but we'll have to see. So there goes Neil, there goes Bidzster. I don't think Bidzster's going to be close enough to be in the draft just yet, but we'll see. As we've got Task One coming onto the straight now in the Subaru on his own. So Subaru in 4th place, then we've got BMW in 5th, so it's all different manufacturers at the top. That's what we like to see, and that just shows you the weight and the championship regulations being very even indeed. We've got all these different manufacturers in the top 4, then we've got another Mazda in 5th place, and then seat 1 in the BMW in 6th. So very nice to see 5 different manufacturers in the top 6. Brilliant stuff as seat 1 flashed his lights there for some reason. as Callum goes out the little bit at the bottom of the hill. Neil Farmack goes through, and Bidzster right behind him now. So Bidzster closes right upon Neil there. So he must have had a little toe on the straight, but not so much to it for him to catch up. Because remember, that Audi is quite decent on the top end speed anyway. Over the line then, last lap of this race. The last 8 minutes of this race, or 9 minutes should I say, underway. Into the hairpin at the bottom. Bidzster goes through, there goes Neil in the Messerschmitt Audi. It was a one-off livery, it's usually the Spitfire Audi, but they've done Messerschmitt livery for this special event. And we've done Ally and we've done Axis, so we're back to Ally next time to go through the GP section. There goes Nick Hash across the line, seat 1. I'm just looking for another battle back here. Stacker, Rodders, and Lilliam Jr. There we are, Growly Bear versus Firepower at the end of the straight. Firepower closes right upon that Evo. Onto the brakes. Oh, Growly Bear's off onto the gravel. He's not going to get that car stopped, and he's bang straight into where our camera is. And Firepower says, "Thank you very much. I will take that." And Growly Bear goes back down to 11th place there. So we're lucky for him. And Jamo on the prowl now. So Jamo catching up to Growly Bear there after that mistake. But don't forget, even with weight on, that Lexus is quite quick down the straights. As we go back to the Bidzster Neil Farmack battle. In towards the end of the GP section, so going through the little right and then left and then on to the back straight of the GP section, and then through the little kink up to the chicane. But remember, it's the faster version of the chicane on the 24 hours. We don't use the tight one, that's for the GP section. There's Callum who's just gone through there, and then we watch Neil go through. Nice line there from Neil, and then Bidzster as well, good line from him as well. So both cars pushing hard here. On to the Nordschleife then for the last time. 12 miles to the finish. Round here and then down through this first section. Who's going to be closer? Nick Hash back here. Let's have a look at Firepower and Growly Bear. They're still quite close together again, but again Firepower ahead after that mistake from Growly. We look back at Bidzster and Neil then, and through this first section of the Nordschleife. Left, right, left, right, left, right. And then on to the first of the straights, or so-called straights at the Nordschleife. There's only really one straight on the Nordschleife, and that's the one to go back towards the start finish. But there's a sort of a straighter bit up here, up and over the rise at the flood plats, one of the best corners. Usually see the cars go airborne there, but not in these cars, not going fast enough. Through here, oh, Bidzster a bit wide there. Little mistake from Bidzster there. To go down the hill. So Bidzster still not quite close enough to being fully drafting range, but Neil Farmack doing a good job to keep ahead here. Bidzster staying with him. Remember, Bidzster's got maximum ballast on in this, so Bidzster with maximum ballast on. So he's doing well to stay with Neil in front as Neil goes through this corner here. Nicely done. Neil's got 5th place weight on from the last one, so he's got 40 kilos on, so it's only a little bit of weight, but still. Bidzster's got the full 200 on. Callum's got none on, that's why he's at the front. So Callum at the front then, doing very well here. We're just getting rid of a little penalty that is accumulated there. Neil Farmack with Bidzster coming up. So Neil Farmack through the chicane. Oh, a bit of dust there, so obviously went to the inside a little bit there. That might have accumulated a penalty, but we'll have to see. So we'll look at Bidzster in the background. Number 22, catching up to Neil as we look at Task 1 going through down through this section to the top then. So Task 1 goes through, and then we've got Nick Hash into the wall. Nick Hash making a little mistake there, and that's all that Seat 1 will need to catch up. Is he off again? No, he's gathered it up, so it's all good. But Seat 1 will close up a little bit there, so Seat 1 will probably push a little bit harder now. Now he's seen that mistake. We'll know that Nick will be vulnerable for the next few corners and try and catch him up. As Rodders and Stacker going through. So Stacker's gone back down to 8th place and now gets 7th back. So I don't know what happened there because they seem to have swapped places, whether there was contact or not. So we'll get a replay. As we come back from that then, we look at Lilliam Jr. coming into the chicane. Lilliam Jr. back here. Firepower as well with Growly Bear not too far behind as well. And then now Jamo's on the back of this bunch as well. So Jamo's closed up to the battle for 11th and 10th place, so Jamo looking to be not last in this race. Hopefully be able to grab a few more extra points which will help his championship cause. So Callum in the lead then, and Neil Farmack and Bidzster still close, but no cigar for Bidzster. Still can't get close enough to the back of that TT as he come to the hairpin then. Through the hairpin onto the, again, another sort of back straight-ish. It's a fast section. Uphill though, so this is where Neil might pull away from Bidzster, even though Bidzster's in the draft, because the weight will not help Bidzster up here. As we go through and up the climb. It doesn't look like much of a climb, ladies and gentlemen, but I can tell you that it is. We go up the hill then, through this section, right, left, and then there's another little left kink here, which catches a lot of people out. There's a little lift and into the corner. Oh, and Neil kicks up the dust a bit there, and then this one as well. You can more or less do this one flat, as they both do there, into the hairpin before the carousel, onto the brakes. Neil Farmack runs a bit wide there, and Bidzster closes right up. Bidzster's closer than he's ever been in this race to second place, and he wants it. Bidzster closing right up before the carousel. Into the carousel then, both cars into it. Oh, Neil makes a little mistake there, and Bidzster right behind him. Neil makes a little mistake there, he went just in a bit too early there, and Bidzster flashing his lights saying, "Ah, right, I have you now." Into the complex section then, the last third of the lap here at Nürburgring Nordschleife, 24 hour. As we go up and over into this section, Bidzster hugging the curbs a lot tighter here, so I wonder if Bidzster's tyres are in a bit more better condition than Neil. Either that or he's pushing overly hard. As Neil knows it's very hard to overtake through this section, so all he's got to do is keep on his racing line, and Bidzster won't get through. So he goes a bit wide there though. Bidzster had a little sniff, no way through. Down the hill, through this left-right section. There's another right down. There's another right down here which can catch people out if you go too fast. But no, Neil goes a little bit too quick, but gets away with it. This next one can catch you out as well, because you've got a big gravel trap waiting on the outside to suck you in, as Neil does there. Neil makes the mistake. Bidzster goes to the outside, but no way through. Neil Farmack keeps the position, keeps on line. Lucky escape there from Neil, but Bidzster's practically pushing him through this section now. Looking for any gap. He's going to have to wait for the straight, I would imagine, and try and get through there. Even though the Scirocco hasn't got the top speed, he's well within drafting range if he doesn't make a mistake now. Up and over the tops then. These cars can do this more or less flat. It's a real test of driving skill is the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and it always provides some good racing. As Neil Farmack goes through. Bidzster behind there in the Scirocco, lighting up the back of that Audi TT like a Christmas tree. Up and over. Through towards the mini carousel. You don't want to get this corner wrong. This could change the whole complexion of the race for you. As Neil Farmack goes wide, does I say that? Neil Farmack goes wide, Bidzster goes straight through. But Neil will get the draft on the straight and probably take the place back. So as Bidzster thought this through. Out onto the straight then. So Callum in the lead, he's ahead, he's already almost halfway down the straight. Then we've got Bidzster and Neil now, very close together. I know we're focusing on this battle a lot, but it's the closest one on track at the minute. As we go onto the straight, both cars side by side with each other. And Neil goes through. So Neil goes through in the draft. Bidzster now gets in the draft, trying to close up to the back. Let's go on board with Neil now then. So Bidzster right behind us. Flashing his light saying, "I'm coming for you." As we go back to the outside. Through this section, Callum's coming close to the line, but we're just going to watch these two cars go through here. And up and over we go, and oh, bit of a squirm there for Neil. Was the contact, but he's off. Neil's off. Neil's off, and Bidzster goes through, but Callum wins the race. Well done to Callum, he's won the race. Bidzster gets second place, but was the contact on that last lap? Bidzster in second place there across the line, Neil in third. We'll get a quick replay on what happened there. Okay, here's a replay from on board with Bidzster then, behind Neil. So we're going down the hill, and then we're watching for Neil braking here. And then Neil brakes a bit there early, and that catches Bidzster out because he doesn't usually brake there. And then hits Neil, and then Neil can't stop the car in time, and into the wall, onto the grass, and Bidzster goes through. So a bit controversial that. Here's another view from that, from looking backwards from Neil now. So into here. You see, we go offline, then we brake, and Bidzster can't do anything to avoid hitting him, and then into the wall. I do think that was a pure racing incident. That was not really Bidzster's fault, because they were both on separate lines, then all of a sudden they both came into one. So Task 1 is coming through in 4th place. He's coming down the hill. Seat 1 and Nick Hash. So Seat 1's ahead of Nick Hash now, so that changed on the last lap as well. So we get a replay on that. Okay, here's a replay of how Seat 1 got past Nick Hash then. So we're going down here through towards the hairpin before the mini carousel. Seat 1's a bit further back here, but Nick Hash goes right off into the wall, hits the wall, and then that's all the invitation that Seat 1 needs to go through. And we've got Stacker, Rodders, Liliam, Firepower all coming through as well. Jamo onto the back straight. So let's have a look then. So Task 1 across the line in 4th place. Well done to Task. Seat 1 and Nick Hash very close at the last few corners. And I think it's just going to be Seat 1 because Nick Hash won't get the draft. Seat 1 in 5th. Nick Hash finishes in 6th place. There we go. There's the checkered flag. And now Stacker coming down the straight now with Rodders behind. No mistakes from through here. Should seal 7th place. Onto the brakes for these boys. Into this last corner. Rodders has met. Oh, Rodders has thrown it away. Stacker goes through, but Rodders in 7th. So Stacker in 7th place. Rodders threw it away there in 8th. But luckily, Lilian Jr. not close enough. So Stacker in 7th. Flashes lights over the line. Rodders in 8th. Lilian Jr. in 9th. Firepower is going to come through in 10th position as well. Well done to Firepower. Good result for him. And Jamo is ahead of Growly Bear on the last lap as well. So Growly Bear goes back to 12th. So we'll get a replay on how that changed as well. Okay, here's a replay of how Growly Bear lost 11th and Jamo got 11th. So see Growly Bear goes wide there onto the grass, but then Jamo follows him. Then Jamo goes across and hits the other wall, but Growly Bear's slowed right down. So obviously some kind of problem there, and goes back down to 12th place. So as we come back from that, then Jamo crossed the line in 11th, and Growly Bear, making another little mistake there. He's going to come across the line in 12th place. A very unlucky 12th, but he tried hard, so well done. So we'll just get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that one then. So Callum wins that race. Well done to Callum. 10 seconds ahead of Bidzster in 2nd place from Neil in 3rd, and that's how that will stand as well. Task 1 in 4th, then Seat 1 comes across the line in 5th position. Nick Hash finishes 6th in the other Mazda Atenza. Stacker, a nice 7th place for him in the TT. Rodders in 8th in the Lexus. Then it's Liliam Jr. in 9th ahead of Firepower in 10th. Then we have Jamo in 11th position. And then we have Growly Bear in the Evo in 12th place. Callum in that one then gets the fastest lap, a 8:44.718. So, as we look at the points then, the points after that. So, Bidzster takes the lead in the points then, 233 points for Bidzster at the front. Then it's Callum in 2nd on 220, Neil 202, Jamo 177 in 4th place, a good solid 4th there for Jamo, and Seat 1 on 170, 1 point in front of Task 1 in 6th. Then if you look at the team's points, Callum and Nick Hash still in the lead of that, only 10 points now to Neil and Stacker in the Spitfire team, and then we have Rodders and Jamo in 3rd place on 283. So, as we come back from that then, there's your winner in that race. Callum in the Mazda Atenza. Obviously had no weight on, and he did very well to get ahead in that race. So we'll see you guys next time at Bathurst, as normal service will be resumed. So the old liveries will return, and 3 races on the trot on the same track. So, see you then guys. Take care.